Hi everyone. By request, I'm doing a video on how to curl your hair with a flat iron. I don't typically curl my hair with a flat iron anymore because I have a lot of hair and I'm faster with a curling iron, and speed is everything in my life right now. So I use a curling iron a lot more. However, if I had to, for instance, only pack one tool for whatever reason, I would probably pack a flat iron because you can do more with it. With a curling iron, you can really just kind of curl your hair. Obviously, with a flat iron, you can curl it, you can smooth it, you can use it at the roots for volume. You know, it's just more versatile. So things to look for in your flat iron: make sure it has beveled edges, and if you can get movable plates that adjust to your hair texture, you'll notice that when you clamp, they move up and down. Those are the best. Because they kind of, fluctuate with your hair, and then the beveled edges will help when you're curling so that you don't get the creases that everyone sees. Other things, make sure your flat iron has a adjustable temperature setting, and you want to have that set between 3 and 350 at most. Most flat irons are made for ethnic hair, and so hair like mine is going to fry at 400 degrees. Nobody needs a 400-degree iron on their hair. So that's really important. In fact, probably key when buying a flat iron is to make sure that you're able to set the temperature. As far as plates, there's different kinds. There's ceramic, and this one's ceramic and tourmaline, and that is probably optimal. There's titanium plates, and they're boasted to be so great, but they're actually almost too great. They get really hot, and so titanium almost in a sense works too well. So I look for tourmaline and ceramic plates on my irons. This one is a FHI, it'll be backwards for you guys, but it's FHI platform. It's a 1-inch styler, and I usually typically work with a 1-inch, whether flat ironing or curling. It's easier. And usually I don't curl my client's hair with a flat iron unless it's like above shoulder length. So if it's shorter than shoulders, I will take a flat iron to curl it all, but usually I work with a curling iron, to be honest. So but I'll show you guys today just kind of some tips and what I do with it. What I first do after I blow out my hair is I like the ends to be a little straighter, so it's a little bit of a messier look. So I'll go through and just kind of run it through the last like 2 inches of my hair all the way around, just to make sure that those ends are frizz-free, that they're straight and crisp, and it just adds to the texture. So then starting from like just above my ears, I'll section this off the same way I do as if I'm curling with an iron. And with whether you're flat ironing or curling with a flat ironing, your section size is super important. You don't want to make the iron do more than it can. So there's a couple ways. The way that I do it is I put the iron on near the base or near the roots, and I turn it a little bit, and then I slide down. Okay? And that's going to give it a little bit of a curl. I like to think of it as like when you curl ribbon with a scissors. You put the ribbon on there, you hold it tight, and then you pull it through. You don't keep turning. It's when people click and turn with their iron that they're opening and clamping, and they get that crease mark. So putting it on there and then just pulling it through gives it that look. And then I like to take the piece after I'll hold the tail, and I'll twist it just to kind of make it hold that shape. So grabbing the next piece right at the base. Now I will wrap and grab this tail just so I can keep it on the hot part. And as you notice, once I get to the last 2 inches of my hair, because I want it to be straight, I pull down to make those ends straight. But if I wanted a curlier, more formal look, I would just keep pulling at the same angle. And the same as when I curl it, I don't undo the curls until the end. So I'll grab the tail, wrap, pull down. And there's no real science because I like it to be a little messier. One of these days I'll do like a more formal curl. I always curl away from my face, flip those tails. And once I'm, away from the pieces that are right by my face, I don't worry about which direction I really go, but right by my face I like to curl away. So same thing in the back. Back's a little bit harder, kind of just have to curl and pull. Okay, so now that I've got this all done, I'll pull down the next section. I have absolutely nothing in my hair as far as products actually right now. When I get a little closer to the top, I'll probably put some volumizing powder in, but other than that, I just blow dry with a blowout cream for heat protectant. If you're not using a pre-blow dry heat protectant, you need to be. And if you're not using a heat protectant at all, you need to be. Very, very important. So grabbing this section again, right here, I wrap the tails, pull straight down. Wrap the tail, pull straight down. Oh, gotta get it to flip. There we go. At the roots, flip the tails. Now I don't like it super curly, which is why I'm pulling more down. Let's show you. If I wanted it curlier, I could wrap it. Oops, grab the top there. Wrap it up tighter, and then go. And then it would be a curlier, round curl. But, I gotta get that hair all the way. I like it to be flat. So I need to flatten out those ends there. And if you get it too curly, then that's simply, all you do is just run it through as a flat iron, keep it straight. Now, I'm going to throw just a little bit of back combing in, really close to the root. I still use a little bit of hairspray. Again, very light hold hairspray, like a mist of a touchable hold would work. You don't want a hard hold when you, especially when you put heat to it. This takes practice. I won't lie, it's hard. Just because the wrist movement is so different. But I think the biggest thing is people try to click and turn with a flat iron when you really just need to turn, wrap, and pull. And I would advise trying it with your heat off the first couple times you do it, because then at least you can get the motion down and you're not stuck with whatever kinks you just made in your hair. So my biggest piece of advice is using no heat at first. I'll show you on the side just a second actually. So a little bit of back combing. Now this is where I start at the roots, and I just use that beveled edge to go ahead and put that volume in right away. Grab those tails, wrap, pull. The longer hair you have, the harder this is. It's not impossible. I see people do it all the time. I am simply more efficient with a curling iron with longer hair. However, if I had a chin length bob, I would curl my hair with a flat iron every single time. Getting it right at the base so that you can put that volume in with heat. Grab your tails. Oh, I got a little round on the ends. if you wanted, like I like my front pieces a little bit straighter, the key is putting it's the edge of the plate that's actually making the curl. So putting the edge of the plate where you want it to start. So if I wanted it to start down here more towards my face, simply doing that. Notice I don't there we go. See how those curls start here versus up here. So you can have a way more relaxed look. I would probably have to flatten these to match, but I'm going to part on the side today. And I try to work in smaller sections than I would with a curling iron. Now I need a little bit of volume up here, so I will take that up just like that, angling it back, and then putting my curl in. I try to keep the tails together right here so that it all hits the iron and it just goes a little smoother. Now if I had a curling iron, I would curl this whole section, and instead I make it 2 different ones, so I have less to work with on the iron. Alright, again, right at the base just for some lift, and then I'll take it through, hold the tails, pull it. Here, I start about mid-strand, turn, and just guide it through like ribbon. And last side. Some of my favorite irons, like I said, the biggest thing is the temperature gauge. So this is an FHI. FHI is a good brand. I like, T3s are good, really good. Just make sure the temperature setting thing. Also cheese, I really like cheese irons. And I really do like GHD. But GHD recently came out with an iron that they say adjusts to everyone's hair type. I don't know what I think about that voodoo magic. I mean, what if you're wrong? What if it doesn't? What if it's set on 400 degrees and your hair, like mine, it's going to fry? So then once I get done, you know, if I see a piece like this one's a little wonky, you just simply, what's nice about a flat iron is you can go back, smooth it out, you can curl it again, whatever you need to do. But it's definitely a more, well, this particular technique makes it a straighter, funkier texture versus, you know, curly. And I actually always go through and run my flat iron through it just to take out any wonky, really curly curls. And then I take a clay and, per usual, some oil, mix them together. My volume tip is take clay and oil in your back combing and stick it up there for a little substance, and then work it through. Now I do like a sea salt spray or a textured spray on this look, just to give it a little bit of a messier, undone, beachy. Let me see if I have one here. Okay, so this is Texture Builder with Matrix, and it's cool because it is buildable. So you can spray it in, and it's like a dry texture spray, so it's got more of a matte finish. And just kind of scrunch it like you went to the beach. Okay, that's basically all I do with an iron when I use it on a straighter, wavier look. I will do like a more formal, tighter curls look, but it's basically the same thing. You just don't straighten your ends before you begin, and you pull the iron all the way through the piece of ribbon. But if you want it to be messier and have more of a wavy texture, go with straightening the ends first. It'll help you out. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. Have a great day. Ah.